Raglan Castle is a late medieval ruin located just north of the village of Raglan in the county of Monmouthshire in southeast Wales. Join us now as we take a look around and share its history. Although Raglan Castle dates from the 15th century, there was an earlier manor complex which dates from the 13th century, which itself is suspected to have been built on an earlier Motte and Bailey castle. The castle that we see today began construction in about 1435 when Sir William ap Thomas commissioned the building of the Great Tower. Sir William was a veteran of the wars with France who acquired his wealth by exploiting his position as the local agent for South West Wales for the Duke of York, Richard Plantagenet. Sir William ap Thomas died in 1445 and was succeeded by his son, William Herbert, who became King Edward IV's most powerful supporter in Wales. In 1461 he was created the Baron of Raglan, and in 1468 was made Earl of Pembroke. To reflect upon his prestige, William commissioned a lavish and ambitious building programme for Raglan. He developed sumptuous suites for accommodation around the fountain court, built the pitch stone court and constructed the formidable gatehouse, which was designed to both impress and intimidate visitors. After the Yorkist defeat at the Battle of Edgecote in 1469, William was executed and building work at Raglan Castle all but came to a stop. The castle would later pass into the ownership of the Earls of Worcester, the Somersets, and Raglan underwent its final transformation into a magnificent Elizabethan country house. It was the third Earl of Worcester, William Somerset, who remodelled the hall range, built the long gallery and extended the pitch stone court. William died in 1589 and the castle passed to his son, Edward, a favourite of Elizabeth I. In 1642, Charles I would go to war with his own parliament, and the 5th Earl of Worcester would declare for the king, placing large amounts of cash into the king's hands. In 1646, Raglan Castle was besieged by a parliamentary army under the command of Sir Thomas Fairfax. After 10 weeks the castle was finally surrendered and Parliament ordered it slighted, a deliberate destruction. A long periodic despoliation followed until 1756 when the 5th Duke of Beaufort put an end to further deconstructions and the castle became a romantic ruin. In 1938, Henry Somerset, the 10th Duke of Somerset, entrusted guardianship of Raglan Castle to the Commissioner of Works, and the castle became a permanent tourist attraction. Today, the castle is classed as a Grade 1 listed building and as a scheduled monument, administered by cadw. pitched stone court is surrounded by the main service areas and staff lodgings. It is here that you will find the office wing. The original 15th century wing was rebuilt in the late 16th century, and the rooms supplemented the main kitchen with additional fireplaces, ovens and a possible brew house. The hall was rebuilt in the late 16th century, with parts of the earlier walling remaining. The most important guests would have been sat at the dais end, nearest to the state apartment, while food was brought in at the opposite end. The Great Tower was one of the first buildings erected. Originally, it was 1 story higher, with battlements, and served as a self-contained residence and as a defensive stronghold. The bridge which leads to the Great Tower is modern, built in 1957, but it was built on the foundations of the earlier medieval bridge. The interior of the tower can best be appreciated from the basement kitchen. Here the cobbling is modern. From the upper floors of this tower, you can get good views down into the castle. At the base of the Great Tower, you can see the apron wall. It would be easy to think that the wall was built at the same time as the tower, but it was built some time after. The wall has 6 corner turrets with cross slits. Raglan Castle is a fantastic place to visit and has an intriguing history. It is easy to spend a lot of time exploring the ruins. What remains of this castle is magnificent, and you can only imagine its splendour at its height. And for me, Raglan Castle is a must visit. to see more videos like this, like, subscribe and share this video out there, and I'll see you all next time. Until then, goodbye.